Hello friends, today we will learn about gene therapy, meaning of gene therapy and details. What is this? What we know by gene therapy? Uh, what is the procedure? All these things, uh, how it occurs. We'll discuss about this in this video. Okay, thank you. So we'll start. First of all, definition. What do we mean by gene therapy? Gene therapy is the process of inserting genes into cells to treat diseases. The newly introduced genes will encode proteins and correct the deficiencies that occur in genetic diseases. Thus, gene therapy primarily involves genetic manipulations in animals or humans to correct a disease and keep the organism in good health. The initial experiments on gene therapy are carried out in animals and then in humans. Obviously, the goal of the researchers is to benefit the mankind and improve their health. In gene augmentation therapy, a DNA is inserted into the genome to replace the missing gene product. In case of gene inhibition therapy, the antisense gene inhibits the expression of the dominant gene. Now let's know some approaches of gene therapy. There are two approaches of gene therapy. First is somatic cell gene therapy and second is germ cell gene therapy. First, somatic gene therapy. Somatic cell gene therapy, let's know about this. The non-reproductive cells of an organism are referred to as a somatic cells. These are the cells of an organism other than sperm or egg cells. Example, bone marrow cells, blood cells, skin cells, intestinal cells. At present, all the research on gene therapy is directed to correct the genetic defects in somatic cells. In essence, somatic cell gene therapy involves the insertion of a fully functional and expressible gene into a target somatic cell to correct a genetic disease permanently. Let's know about germ cell gene therapy. The reproductive cells of an organism constitute germ cell line. Gene therapy involving the introduction of DNA into germ cells is passed on to the successive generations. For safety, ethical and technical reasons, germ cell gene therapy is not being attempted at present. The genetic alterations in somatic cells are not carried to the next generations. Therefore, somatic cell gene therapy is preferred and extensively studied with an ultimate objective of correcting human diseases. The development of gene therapy in humans for any specific disease involves the following steps. Let's know the steps. In fact, this is a general format for introducing a therapeutic agent for human use. First is in vitro experiments and research on laboratory animals. That is preclinical trials. Phase 1. Second point is phase 1 trials with a small number, that means 5 to 10 of human subjects to test safety of the product. Third is phase 2. Third point is phase 2 trials with more human subjects to assess whether the product is helpful or not. Fourth point is phase 3 trials in large human samples for a final and comprehensive analysis of the safety and efficacy of the product. As such, gene therapy involves a great risk. There are several regulatory agencies whose permission must be sought before undertaking any work related to gene therapy. Recombinant DNA Advisory Committee, that means RAC, is the supervisory body of the National Institute of Health, USA, that clears proposals on experiments involving gene therapy. A large number of genetic disorders and other diseases are currently at various stages of gene therapy trials. There are two types of gene therapies. First is ex vivo gene therapy and second is in vivo gene therapy. Let's know about ex vivo gene therapy. This involves the transfer of genes in cultured cells. That means example bone marrow cells, which are then reintroduced into the patient. Next is second point is in vivo gene therapy. Here the direct delivery of genes into the cells of a particular tissue is referred to as in vivo gene therapy. Now let's know about in brief about ex vivo gene therapy. The ex vivo gene therapy can be applied to only selected tissues like bone marrow, whose cells can be cultured in the laboratory. Let's know about some points in ex vivo gene therapy. First point is it isolates cells with genetic defect from a patient. Second is grow the cells in culture. Third is introduce the therapeutic gene to correct gene defect. Fourth is select the genetically corrected cells and grow. Fifth point is transplant the modified cells to the patient. The procedure basically involves the use of the patient's own cells for culture and genetic correction, and then they are returned back to the patient. This technique is therefore not associated with adverse immunological responses after transplanting the cells. Ex vivo gene therapy is efficient only if the therapeutic gene is stably incorporated and continuously expressed. This can be achieved by use of vectors. Vectors in gene therapy. Let's know about the vectors in gene therapy. The carrier particles or molecules used to deliver genes to somatic cells are referred to as vectors. The important vectors employed in ex vivo gene therapy are viruses, human artificial chromosome and bone marrow cells. Now let's know about the viruses. The vectors frequently used in gene therapy are viruses, particularly retroviruses. RNA is the genetic material in retroviruses. As the retroviruses enters the host cells, it synthesizes DNA from RNA. This so formed viral DNA gets incorporated into the DNA of the host cell. The proviruses are normally harmless. However, there is a tremendous risk since some of the retroviruses can convert normal cells into cancerous ones. Therefore, it is absolutely essential to ensure that such a thing does not happen. Let's know about the making retroviruses harmless. Making of retroviruses harmless. Researchers employ certain biochemical methods to convert harmful retroviruses to harmless ones before using them as vectors. For instance, by artificially removing a gene that encodes for the viral envelope, the retrovirus can be crippled and made harmless. This is because without the envelope, retrovirus cannot enter the host cell. The production of a large number of viral particles can be achieved starting from a single envelope defective retrovirus. This is made possible by using helper viruses which contain normal genes for envelope formation. Along with the helper virus, the vector can enter the host cell and both of them multiply. By repeating multiplication in host cells, billions of vector and helper viruses are produced. The vector viruses can be separated from the helper viruses and purified. Isolation of vector viruses totally free from helper viruses is absolutely essential. Contamination of helper viruses is a big threat to the health of the patients undergoing gene therapy. Now let's know about the retroviruses in gene therapy. In general, the retrovirus particle has RNA as a genome organized into 6 regions. It has a 5' long terminal repeat, that is 5' LTR, a non-coding sequence required for packaging RNA designated as SI, a gene GAG coding for structural protein, a gene POL that codes for reverse transcriptase, a gene END coding for envelope protein and a 3 LTR sequence. For use of a retrovirus as a vector, the structural genes GAG and POL are deleted. These genes are actually adjacent to shy regions. In addition to promote gene is also included. This vector design allows the synthesis of cloned genes. A retroviral vector can carry a therapeutic DNA of maximum size of 8 kilobase pair. A retroviral vector DNA can be used to transfer the cells. However, the efficiency of delivery and integration of therapeutic DNA are very low. In recent years, techniques have been developed to deliver the vector RNA to host cells at a high frequency. For this purpose, packaged retrovirus RNA particles are used. This technique allows a high efficiency of integration of pharmaceutical DNA into host genome. Now, let's know about several modified viral vectors. Several modified viral vectors have been developed in recent years for gene therapy. These include oncoretrovirus, adenovirus, adeno-associated virus, herpes virus, and a number of hybrid vectors combining the good characters of the parental vectors. Marine leukemia viruses in gene therapy. This is a retrovirus that causes a type of leukemia in mice. It can react with human cells as well as the mouse cells due to a similarity in the surface receptor protein. Murine leukemia virus MLV is frequently used in gene transfer. Now, let's know about AIDS. AIDS virus in gene therapy. It is suggested that the human immunodeficiency virus can be used as a vector in gene transfer, but this is bound to create public uproar. Some workers have been successful in creating a harmless HIV by removing all the genes related to reproduction. At the same time, the essential genes required for gene transfer are retained. There is a distinct advantage with HIV when compared with MLV. MLV is capable of bringing out genes transfer only in dividing cells. HIV can infect even non-dividing cells, that is example brain cells, and do the job of gene transfer effectively. However, it is doubtful whether HIV can ever be used as a vector. Human artificial chromosome. The details of human artificial chromosome are, that means HAC in short. HAC is a synthetic chromosome that can replicate with other chromosomes besides encoding a human protein. As already we have discussed, use of retroviruses as vectors in gene therapy is associated with a heavy risk. This problem can be overcome if HAC is used. Some success has been achieved in this direction. Now let's know about bone marrow cells. Bone marrow contains totipotent embryonic stem cells. These cells are capable of dividing and differentiating into various cell types. Example, red blood cells, RBC, platelets, macrophages, osteoclasts, beta and B and T lymphocytes, etc. For this reason, bone marrow transplantation is the most widely used technique for several genetic diseases, and there is every reason to believe that the genetic disorders that respond to bone marrow transplantation are likely to respond to ex vivo gene therapy. For instance, if there is a gene mutation that interferes with the function of erythrocytes, sickle cell anemia, bone marrow transplantation is done. Bone marrow cells are the potential candidates for gene therapy of sickle cell anemia. However, this is not as simple as theoretically stated. Now, let's know about ex vivo gene therapy. Let's know about some examples of ex vivo gene therapy. Therapy for adenosine deaminase deficiency. The first and most publicized human gene therapy was carried out to correct the deficiency of the enzyme adenosine deaminase ADA. This was done on September 14, 1990 by a team of workers led by Bliss and Anderson at the National Institute of Health, USA. The girl's name was Asanti and 4 years old then. Let's know about the genetic diseases that are likely to be cured by using bone marrow cells. First is SCID, that is severe combined immunodeficiency. Second is sickle cell anemia. Third is Fanconi anemia. Fourth is thalassemia. Fifth is Gaucher's disease. Sixth is Hunter disease. Seventh is Hurler syndrome. Eighth is chronic granulomatous disease. Ninth is infantile agranulocytosis. 10th is osteoporosis. 11th is X-linked gamma globulinemia. Now let's know about severe combined immunodeficiency, that is SCID. This is rare inherited immune disorder associated with T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes dysfunction. About 50% of SCID patients have a defect in the gene that encodes for adenosine deaminase. In the deficiency of ADA, deoxyadenosine and its metabolites accumulate and destroy T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes are essential for body's immunity. Besides participating directly in body's defense, they promote the function of beta lymphocytes to produce antibodies. Thus, the patients of SCID suffer from infectious diseases and die at an young age. Previously, the children suffering from SCID were treated with conjugated bovine ADA or by bone marrow transplantation. Technique of therapy for ADA deficiency. Let's know about the techniques of therapy for ADA deficiency. The general scheme of gene therapy adapted for introducing a defective gene patient has the same procedure with suitable modifications can also be applied for other gene therapies. A plasmid vector bearing a proviral DNA is selected. A part of the proviral DNA is replaced by the ADA gene and a gene coding for antibiotic resistance and then cloned. The antibiotic resistance gene will help to select the desired clones with ADA gene. Circulating lymphocytes are removed from a patient suffering from ADA deficiency. These cells are transfected with ADA gene by exposing to billions of retroviruses carrying the said gene. The genetically modified lymphocytes are grown in cultures to confirm the expression of ADA gene and returned to the patient. These lymphocytes